The idea of the Son praying to the Father, why does he need to pray to the Father if they're the same?
You're talking about when he's on the
being?
cross. When I say, I pledge allegiance to the
Flag.
you see, you know the next line. So, at the time, when we read in context, we have to say, what was the culture like in the time? What was happening in the time? Well, in the time period that it was at was the Psalms, the Old Testament. Everybody knew the Old Testament. You know, the Jewish scholars knew the Old Testament, just like you were able to recite that back to me. Like you ask a lot of Jews even today, and part of growing up is reciting the Old Testament, or parts of it, the Torah. The Psalms were like anthems of those days that everybody would know, right? Or at least be familiar with. What Jesus is actually doing on that cross is he is declaring his whole purpose for being here in the first place. What he's doing on that cross is he's starting a song that everybody should know, that everybody knows. And he's saying, Father, why have you forsaken me? Well, guess what? That's only the beginning of the song, right? Because he's actually quoting Psalm 23.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Didn't know that. That's cool.
And what's so fascinating about that is he's hanging on this cross and he's saying, Father, why have you forsaken me? Well, guess what? Everybody listening, their ears perk up. Hey, I know that song. That's a very distinct song. Very distinct song. No other psalm in the Bible starts like that. So their ears perk up.
Yeah.
Whoa, okay, what are you saying here? Well, he hands the mic to them and says, Father, why have you forsaken me? Hands the mic over to them. And what that does is it allows them all to get an introspective look. What does that psalm say? It says they surround me like rabid wolves. Okay, they're surrounding him, right? They divide up my garments and cast lots for it. Whoa, what did the Romans just do? They literally divided up his clothes and were gambling for his clothes. And actually it would go down in even to say, they pierce my hands and my feet, right? He's talking about a crucifixion. And here he is on the cross saying, they pierce my hands and my feet, right? He takes the mic back at the end and says, it is finished, right? So what's amazing about that was what he did on the cross was fulfillment of the entire Torah, was fulfillment of the moral law. But it's up to you to accept whether you want his sacrifice to be enough for you.